Can you tell us about this whiteboard approach to what the government's up to?
As you point out, Pim, yes, the White House is sort of like the Walmart of government. It's big and always controversial, I suppose. But as far as restructuring the government, which has almost 3 million employees compared, I think it was 2.78 million employees. Walmart has about 2.5, I think, if I recall, worldwide. So that's a comparison in size there. The director of the OMB, Mick Mulvaney, he came out yesterday, talked to reporters, and said, "Listen, we're starting with a blank sheet of paper. If you were to rebuild the U.S. government from scratch, how would you do it?" That's what he wants to know. What makes sense? And there's this assumption that there's a lot of inefficiencies in government, and part of those are there because of the very structure of the government and the way it was set up, and layer on top of layer on top of layer have been placed over the years.
Shannon, there's a lot of inefficiencies in the government, but I think you and I would both agree that there are behind the scenes some frustrations right now that the administration hasn't filled key staffing positions, not only at the top level, but also at the bottom level. I put this question earlier today to the former chairman of President Obama's Council of Economic Advisors, Austin Goolsbee. I want to play for you what he had to say about that and then get your response.
For sure, there are staffing problems throughout the administration. Regardless of what you think of the Trump administration, they've got to get off of their duffs and get some people nominated for these positions at Treasury, within the other agencies.
So, Shannon, how does the administration grapple with that criticism, not only just from Democrats, but also from several Republicans as well?
Right, exactly. This point that, hey, get your own house in order before you start complaining about our house down the street. I think, they have been surprised by how difficult it has been to get some of these appointees through Congress because of the political process, but also in their own internal transition process. They, as you covered this campaign really well, they were not necessarily prepared for this. They did not have binders of people to fill everyone. Chris Christie got removed from the transition. That set them behind. And at the same time, there's also been these internal factions and fighting over certain names where, if one person doesn't like someone ideologically or they're going to be on the other person's alliance, these names get thrown out. So it's a fair criticism that they do have to start getting this in place, and a lot rests on it. Restructuring the government, you need people to help you do that. Treasury, tax reform, they cannot do tax reform, if Steve Mnuchin is home alone at Treasury. So a big part of their policy agenda rests on getting these positions filled.
It's a great point about the transition, and I think that was an underreported portion of the lack of transition preparation.
All right.